Hello, everyone, and welcome to the meeting of District 7710's E-Club. Today is Tuesday, July 18th. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I'd like to ask everyone to pause and take a few moments of silence in memory of President-elect Sam Awori, who passed away a few days ago. Thank you. We in the Rotary family are very much mourning this huge loss of an extremely important person, and we wish his family the best at this difficult time. So tonight we are very pleased to host District Governor Shafi Parekh. But before we introduce him, I'd also like to welcome another special guest, Susan Ross, who's our new Assistant Governor for Area 7. And Susan is going to do the honors of introducing Shafi. Excuse me. So first I will introduce Susan. Susan says she was raised on the four-way test with both a father and a grandfather who were active Rotarians and a 93-year-old mother who still enjoys coming to Rotary as an honorary member. Susan joined the Durham Club with the first group of women and served as president from 2006 to 2007. She has been an active leader with Interact, the district conference, literacy programs, and a host of fundraising projects over the years on both the club and district levels. Susan is co-founder and a partner of Moss & Ross, a strategic development consulting firm partnering with nonprofits in the Triangle area, where she and her associates have worked with more than 140 clients in the past 8 years. She specializes in campaign management, feasibility studies, strategic planning, and volunteer training with her firm. A native of Durham, she is married to Duke fundraiser Tom Hadzer. Together they have 6 grown children and spend after hours time on volunteer work, tennis, golf, and college sports. And we really appreciate you being here tonight with us, Susan, to do the honors of introducing our new district governor. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. I'm happy to be here. Are you all seeing me? I'm still seeing the rotary wheel, but if you're seeing me. Oh, I can now see Shafi. I'm not sure what happened to me, but anyway, I'm here behind the rotary wheel. So it's my delight to be in my first month in my new job, and therefore you're my first club to speak to as assistant governor, and to have the chance to introduce Shafi Parekh to you. And I will do so at this point. Shafi has lived and worked in many places around the world, including Cuba, Puerto Rico, Pakistan, Michigan, Dallas, and California. After getting his degree in dairy and food science from the University of Reading in England, Shafi worked for his family's dairy plant for 11 years and then traveled around the world with his career, working in the dairy industry as production manager, plant manager, and vice president of operations. Shafi's Rotary background spans over 4 districts, including Pakistan, Michigan, Dallas, and District 7710 here in North Carolina. He has had the honor of being president of 2 different clubs, leading both clubs to being named best clubs in their district, and has served generously in our own district as an active member of the West Raleigh Club. He was instrumental in launching the Midtown Rotary Club and served for several years as assistant district governor before being selected to serve as 2017-18 governor 3 years ago. International projects have played an important role in shaping Shafi's life journey. In Michigan, he helped establish a gifted and talented program for 3 school districts. In an effort to better serve the needs of children diagnosed with cancer, Shafi led the charge in promoting a Rotary grant that brought surgical equipment to Pakistan. And Shafi initiated a prosthesis program in Pakistan that donated artificial limbs, and he remembers vividly the day he watched the 1,000th limb recipient walking on her own. Shafi and his wife Mirjan have 2 sons. One lives in Raleigh with his wife and 2 grandchildren. The other son lives in San Diego. It was terrific to be able to meet this wonderful family at the district installation dinner a few weeks ago. To this important role of district governor, Shafi brings passion, commitment, and the real ability to connect with his fellow Rotarians. So please welcome tonight our 2017-18 district governor, Shafi Parekh. Clap, clap. I'm leading the applause now, Shafi.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was great. But I'm telling you, I didn't write that. Matthew wrote it. So, I think he ran it by the 4-way test. So it's mostly correct. There's one other thing that you forgot, which was the second team, the Parkside club that I sponsored. But, I'd like to start off by saying ciao. You see, I'm not Italian. My connection to Italy was that project that you talked about, the international project that we did, which was for the pediatric oncology hospital in Pakistan, where kids used to come, and 45% of their patients were kids that were exposed to cyanide and chromium and all kinds of stuff when they were playing out in the street, because there was no control. And these are kids with tumor, and they were sent home to die. So we absolutely could not bear to do that. So Rotary steps in, and I'm really, really happy that we were able to do that. My ciao stands for a personal philosophy, of every challenge is an opportunity. So it's every challenge is an opportunity. And I want to thank President E. Marion and all the members of the E Club that are here for the chance to speak to them today. I've served as a Rotarian since '72 in 4 districts, and none of the districts have come close to our district. Believe me, and it's not just because I'm in this district, but we do have a super district. Let me talk to you a little bit about the opportunities and challenges. Your membership was down to 70 on 1 July, and now you're starting the year at 16. Here's an opportunity, but again, I want to talk about Rotary Club Central a little bit, but it's not what you are, how big you are, but what you do in living our theme will make a difference. Because hearing Kathy say what you all are doing, and I remember, I haven't been like 3 years ago, for that the fill the bus type, which y'all were involved in passing out school supplies. My passion, one of the passions is literacy is one of my passions. Lack of literacy is something that we should absolutely never have. Not in this part of the world, absolutely not. But again, even though you are a District 77 club, the world is your oyster, and you can draw from anywhere. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this club can be a 50-person club or a 60-person club pretty soon. But then again, all clubs need a public image plan, and we have some money in the budget to promote your site. So please contact Jim Lovejoy if you can, the district public image chair. If y'all need any help in that respect, it's not it's not a huge big budget, but it is what it is. Now, Kamathi, back in the last century when I was young and in Pakistan, we were crazy about your comic books. So we used to think everyone in the U.S. talked like folks in the comic books with, Gadzooks and, Holy whatever, Batman, etc. So one word that struck to me was EGAD. We just would as kids would go out there and, say EGAD, EGAD, EGAD without knowing what it was. Now I would like to make that a Rotary word. So again, I'll come to that when it's time. Let me come back to some statistics. The All Club's average of male-female members is 73-27. You're at 38-56, which is great. Seeing that the overall demographic of split is 49-51. Your average age of member under 40 is 12.5 against All Clubs, which is 10%, and I think that's somewhere that with technology, etc. Maybe I can draw some more folks over there. Again, the general demographics of that area is 34%. So the 2 clubs I was involved in, which was again the Midtown Club and Parkside, have taken advantage of this demographic, and they're at 75%, membership of less than 40. In fact, they're looking for older, mature members. But again, it's a huge opportunity for someone like a concept E-Club. Now, since you're the only E-Club in District 770, it may be a matter of just a good medium for recruitment. Talk about recruitment. I recruited a young professional, Nathan Thomas. I don't know how many of you know Nathan Thomas of the Midtown Club, who is a district membership chair, and he will turn 30 next year. He is my membership chair, and he is already brainstorming strategies and writing emails to folks. And I'm sure that Marion, Eve, you got that, and Susan, you got that. His email. He's on fire. So he's going to be reaching out to membership chairs to assist in membership. Take advantage of that, of Nathan, because Nathan's still got some great ideas. By the way, Nathan is from Kampala. He's from the same place as Sam Mawari was. I also have a Rotary alumni chair. He's another young professional by the name of Marco Ramirez. Marco is the president of the Fuquay Marina Club, and he will be identifying Rotary alumni, which includes returning youth exchange participants, group study exchange students, again, group study exchange participants, VTT members, which is the vocational training team, Rotarians who may have transferred from other districts and moved to our area. He's also going to be working with the membership chair. Again, this may be a great opportunity for you, as these are folks who are not bound by geography. And they have ties to Rotary, and their proximity to a brick and mortar club may not be a deterrent to them as it might be for the other 46 clubs that we have. If I were you, I'd be good friends with Marco and get leads from him to go for the alums. The other thing is Rotary has just teamed up with the Peace Corps volunteers, the returning Peace Corps volunteers. That offers another opportunity for people who are used to serving and who are, who really serve in different countries. Y'all have, if there's a project, overseas project, they'd be more than happy to help us with that. That's one of the things that we always are looking for, is somebody who we can trust. Not that we don't trust the other Rotarians, but somebody who can be our second eyes and ears in project. They're returning Peace Corps volunteers. If they don't become members of our club, they can be folks that can help us, with volunteer work. And then there's the junior chamber, where once they age out, which is over 39, these members who are used to service can find a home in Rotary. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. As I said, every challenge is an opportunity. So there's some opportunities that I think we can look at. I'm sure you could run research and establish contacts with the junior chamber. And these are young folks, 39, and they're out. Okay, any guesses on EGAD? Okay. It's tied to increasing opportunities, going after the underrepresented demographics. E is for ethnic, G is for gender, A is for age, and D is for diversity. And when I look at some of the brick and mortar clubs, I go out there and I say, guys, folks, do we have to be so monolithic? Let's look outside. Look at outside. Do we reflect what is out there in the community? No, we do not. We do not. What is it that's keeping us from getting that getting diversity in our club? So again, we can build a strong club through ethnic, gender, and age diversity. And that's basically what EGAD is. Rotary National President Ian Risley was at the Atlanta Conference, and those of you who were lucky enough to go to the Atlanta Conference, he said, we heard him say that if he wanted to join an accountants association, and every other sentence he says, did I tell you I was an accountant? He says, if I wanted to join an accountants, I would have joined the Association of Chartered Accountants, which is what they call CPAs over there. He says, I joined Rotary because of its diversity, and its membership, and I get a lot more out of that diversity. So again, we can get more out of diversity than we can out of just, our folks. Again, I congratulate you on your use of Rotary Club Central. You folks are able to do that, but the great news now is, Rotary Club Central. I don't know who has been to Rotary Club Central right now, but I went, and it was down over the weekend. On Monday, I opened it, and voila! I mean, it is super fast. I just can't believe that the difference that it has made. And it's just, you go into there and, you get that one page, and I don't know how many of y'all have been to Rotary Club Central, but you go out there and punch in your club, and it's one sheet at a glance. I mean, everything's out there with 5-year statistical data on, of course, y'all are just 2 years old, but, statistical data on age, on gender, on membership, etc. So, the one thing that I'm telling all clubs to do is to enter volunteer and project hours, because that's one of the things that's going to be required now, and that's something that we can brag about as a district and as Rotary International. We just don't do much to brag about all the work that we do, and which is why Rotary is such a such a well-known secret that, I go out there and 75% of people don't know about Rotary. Or they, yeah, we've heard about Rotary. Aren't you all an old people's club? And no, we're not. We're not. We're working people's club. We are a working people's club. And as we know that Rotary Club Central, used to be a pain, but now it's not. So I would highly encourage us to go to Rotary Club Central. It's faster, it's friendly, and it's soon going to be mobile. So we'll be able to carry it in our pockets. So we got to take the next step now of bragging on our club and reporting it. And you're doing the work, so may as well take credit for it. But then, talk about work. A club does not work for getting presidential citations. Now, we've heard about presidential citations. They come to a club who do the work like you do. But just like Rotary, you have to be able to go out there. People have to pull that data from someplace. And Becca Smith, who's our person, she is going to pull that data from there, so that we can it can be entered into the president's citation. And I don't see any reason why 100% of our clubs cannot get the president's citation, because there's only two things that we need to do in president's citation, which is, report the volunteer hours, and number two, pay our dues on time. If we don't pay our dues on time, to Rotary International, which is, the 31st of, July and 31 of January, there's a possibility we may not be a club. So, we do that anyway. We'll do that anyway, report it, and then we can go out there and do whatever we do in the three strategic areas of focus, which is, building stronger clubs, going out there and doing humanitarian service, and then, foundation work. We're there. There's like 4 out of 8 of each. If we do that, we have that citation sewed up. And you are a strong club. I think there's no reason why the E-Club cannot be a citation club. Now, same token, Newman had started a tradition, and Racine followed him in recognizing individual Rotarians. I'm also giving the opportunities to get individual recognition, to folks, for people doing what they do. But there's one caveat, which is, membership, development, supporting foundation, and participation in training. So individual Rotarians who bring in a new member can contribute at least $10 via Rotary Direct, Rotary Club Central, and attend one training, whether it is assembly, foundation training, RLI, zone training. We'll get what's called a difference maker award. And we've designed that difference maker award, and I believe you would love it. I mean, it's just a super pin that one can wear out there. But again, you're not going to do it for the pin. I mean, you're going to do it and report it, and the pin's going to come. I mean, it's something that I think it's an error. Now, if these difference makers come to the ACC, and I'm talking about ACC, I don't know how many people know about ACC. It's something that happens after March Madness, but it's not basketball. It's all clubs conference. And the reason we call it ACC is because there's a disconnect. Generally, there's a disconnect that is developed between district and club. I was talking to somebody from the Durham club, and they said, I said, are you coming to the district assembly? He said, no, that's for the district. That's not for me. I said, well, what is the district? The district is a combination of clubs. Without clubs, there's no members, and without clubs, there's no district. So the district is just nothing but a combination of clubs, which is why we're calling it the All Clubs Conference. And everything will be all clubs. And you'll see that we're going to slowly go away from, this word district, unless, it's Rotary related. Yeah. So folks that come to the All Clubs Conference after having received the Difference Maker Award are going to get a certificate of Difference Maker registration. So now I already talked about membership foundation. As the word implies, is the base which allows us to springboard from and do good in the world. Folks, we have just a tremendous foundation. It's rated, just high amongst the charity navigators. It's one of the highest funds there is. And, you folks doubled your giving from 14 to 15 and 16, 17. I would consider just keeping out the forward momentum on the leadership of Even and support the board and foundation chair working with, again, the District Rotary Foundation Chair, Newman Aguiar. And, Newman's going to bring a new and really a new zeal to that foundation. And he already has a great thing going. One quick and easy way of giving is, as I said, going to the Rotary Direct. And, just to give like $10. I never tell people to do something that I don't do. Rotary Club Central was down this weekend. I went out there and it took me 6 minutes to go out there and log in and, put in $25 a quarter in addition to my sustaining whatever it is. Now, I'm not rich, by the way. It's, and I know this governor, and I don't want to scare people who are potential governor nominees or candidates, but there are some expenses involved in governorship. But again, and I'm not rich, but believe me, I'm not going to miss the $25 that I put on the credit card and forget. Nobody would miss the $10 that they give out, and Rotary does such great work that I wish I had more. I would give as much as I could, to the Rotary Foundation. That's how much I believe in the Rotary Foundation. Again, so take a look at it. Giving to polio. Again, and we went to the Atlanta convention, and we used to do this. A polio sign was this. We're not close to polio. President Dean Risley said, no, that's not it. It's this. We're going to go down to zero. And we are going to go down to zero. And wouldn't it be great? If we can go down to zero, it's the one disease that Rotary took on in the mid-'80s, where there were 360,000 kids of mothers who were being paralyzed. And I've seen these kids. I really have seen these kids, just crawling on the streets of Mumbai in India. Yeah, and going out there, and mothers, they just don't know what to do with them. So these kids are left alone. No one should have to go through that. And hopefully, I'm hoping that nobody will have to go through it. This year we had 5 cases of polio. And next year, hopefully, we're going to have 0 cases of polio. So, but it's an uphill climb. For the 3 endemic countries, it is an uphill climb. And I think Shireen would probably, agree with me that, the 3 endemic countries they're paternalistic countries. These are countries that are ruled by men. And the next step to that is we try to get, literacy out of that. And we have a project going in, at West Raleigh to bring literacy to that part of Pakistan. We're actually adopting 17 schools and just providing them with doors and windows and bathrooms. These folks expect, girls to go to schools, with toilets that have no doors and windows. Who are they kidding? And provide safe water to these people, things that we take for granted. So hopefully, I know that this is going to be successful. I've run that all the way up to, the chairman of the foundation, and he said, yeah, we really need to educate folks if we want to maintain the advances that we made in polio. So again, we're going to do whatever we can in our small way, to impact, to influence. But with the help of each and every one of us, be it $5 or $1,000 towards polio, and knowing that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're actually matching our donations 2 for 1. And when we were in Atlanta, Bill Gates actually committed another $450 million to polio in the next 3 years. As you know, polio is not something that once it's gone, it's gone. The last case is gone. We have to be polio free for 3 years before this world is considered. It will be certified as polio free, and we will do it. And then we can walk proud, saying that it is Rotary that did that, and no mother will have her child crippled. Now, when you look at it from our standpoint here, the world's getting small. Believe me, with what we have out here, our kids are not immune as the kids out there in that part of the world. If one of those, God forbid, one of those cases was to come here, it would be disastrous. So again, it's something that I'm really passionate about. Is polio is something that we have to get rid of. The polio fighter in Pakistan, who's the general out there, and he's a friend of mine. He used to be the district governor in Pakistan when I was in Rotary. Um, he is the chief of polio, and he has promised me. When I was with him last year, and he promised me that we will wipe out polio by the end of next year. So again, this is the person will be. His name is Aziz Maiman. He will be at our All Clubs conference, which is in Newburgh, from April 27th to 29th. So please mark your calendar and come hear him. I think it'll be something that it'll be something to see and something to hear. Now, finally, there's not one of us that know of a friend or family member, and that who has not been afflicted by Alzheimer's. Okay. CART, which stands for Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust, is a program that was started by 6 districts. And last year we donated $700,000 to Alzheimer's research from the pocket change of folks. Now, I don't know how y'all are going to have, maybe you can start a Bitcoin collection or whatever it is now, whatever. But again, start something and give it to one of the folks. But because, Alzheimer's is something that we're all growing older, and it's something that they say will affect 1 out of 6 of us. And it's not my mom, was a victim, and it's not her. She was not the one who was affected as much as the others were. It's the caregivers, that have to go through and look at these folks. And, so whatever we can do about, CART, I know I tell people, put CART funds, CART buckets on your tables. And so whatever pocket change, I mean, we all can get our little piggy banks and send the piggy banks. And I'm sure Pat Bridgers, who is the CART chair, will be more than happy to take our pocket change. Okay? Again, hope you folks could have a virtual, a CART bucket out there. Okay. Again, all I can say is you folks are living our President Ian Risley's theme of Rotary making a difference. We've all been living that for a while. I know you're involved in projects, plus your club has sponsored the Interact Club. We can take part in trees, planting trees. Ian Risley has challenged us to plant 1.2 million trees over the next, until the next Earth Day, which is, from 1 July. And Melissa Mills of the Durham Club is the chair of the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, which now we've also partnered with NC State, the Department of Forestry, and they'll give us trees. They'll give us planting equipment. If we can get our interactors involved in that, we can go out there. They'll even give us the land where we can plant these trees. So that's an area that maybe we all ought to take a look at and see about planting trees, in our area. Again, this is part of the initiative of Ian Risley's, and he has asked us to get on board. What he said is that, environmental degradation and global climate change are serious threats to everyone. They're having a disproportionate impact on those who are most vulnerable, those to whom Rotary has the greatest responsibility. Yet, he said environmental issues rarely register on Rotary agenda. Again, he's challenged everyone to plant trees. And what he said was that, the planting the 1.2 million trees is going to have an impact that's going to be greater than just planting those trees. It's going to be something that I think, something that we owe, not just to the people, but we, owe it to the planet, because that will slow down global warming. It's my hope the result of that effort will be greater than the environmental benefit that those 1.2 million trees will bring. I believe the greater result will be a Rotary that recognizes our responsibility, not only to the people on our planet, but to the planet itself. I mean, it's just amazing. This man has got vision. I know that from the time to time, you do take the opportunity to get physically involved in projects with your members who are based locally. But again, I would say, with Susan in other clubs, and especially with the club, Joyce is going to be heading up that Interact effort, and let's get involved. Rotarians are altruistic folks. You know, we step in when there is a need and without asking for anything in return. And that's the beauty of Rotary. When we join Rotary, we did to make a difference in our community, in our state, in our country, you know, and in the world. You know, with a commitment to our team, which is Rotary making a difference. Again, the theme of our All Clubs Conference in Newburgh is, what a wonderful word. We will celebrate our making a difference by showcasing lives that we have affected, by bringing back students that have exchange students. Cami Tricome is coming back from Mexico. Our vocational training team will be coming back from Brazil, and Aziz Memo will be coming back. And they're all going to talk about, you know, what a difference Rotary has made in our world. Again, I also have a focus area, which I talked about, which is alleviating poverty by enhancing literacy. Not worldwide. We have lack of literacy here, and we can do so much, you know, by participating in small little literacy projects out here, whether it be read and feed or whatever it is, and you know, because that's what we do. That's what we do. By our efforts, that's what we do. We are Rotary, making a difference. And so with that, you know, all I can say is I thank you all, you know, for your time. I thank you all for what you're doing. I thank you all, you know, for the difference that you will make. And okay, you know, I look forward to seeing you now at training and at the All Clubs Conference. So again, thank you. With that, what I do is I know you close the meeting with the four-way test, so I will not relate the four-way test, but that's how we live. We live our life, you know, by living the four-way test. And that's what makes us different from other clubs out there, because we believe in the four-way test. We believe in the ethics, and we are the folks that are the keeper of that ethical standard of the four-way test. Again, thank you once again, and let's continue to make a difference. Take care.
Thank you so much, Shafi. We really appreciate your talk. Everybody's virtually clapping. I'll clap. Thank you very much. And we really appreciate everything you had to say. I was going to open it up to questions. Does anyone have a question for Shafi?
I do have a question, Shafi. You mentioned that there are 3 countries that had polio last year. What countries are those?
There are 3 countries, Shireen, that are polio endemic. That's Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. And unfortunately, there was some polio that was detected, which was a different strain that was detected in Sudan, but they will get that in control. But the 3 polio endemic countries are, you know, that are not being polio free are Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria.
Thank you. Was Afghanistan free of polio at some point, or?
It has never been free. Okay. And it's mostly because of the porous border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. It's very difficult to control. And that's where this person, Aziz Mehman, you will see, if you see him, you're going to see him. This guy is 6'6". He's the ultimate polio fighter. He's not just fighting polio, he's fighting the taboos. And you know what the taboos are out there, and the Taliban and the ISIS, etc. So I mean, he's got a big job ahead of us, but he's mustering the resources, the country, the military, and now they've forged a partnership with the Taliban out there, you know, in this, and it could never have been done without him. So I mean, this guy really has done a great amount of work, and this person will go down in Rotary history as being the last polio fighter. I call him my last samurai. He's my last samurai. Polio.
Shafi, is Taliban and ISIS, are they preventing the polio drops to reach people, or they're also discouraging people from getting the drops?
They're killing polio fighters. They're killing our volunteers. They were killing our volunteers. When I was there, I was out there, and I was there at the polio, and you know, it was tough to go there at that time. But this time now, it's much more tougher. There have been a lot of polio volunteers that have been killed by the Taliban.
That is sad.
But they go out there and they have done such a super job. Now it's not as bad right now, because we forged that, they have forged that partnership with the Taliban, and somebody from Taliban is always there whenever, you know, they're being inoculated. Absolutely, yes.
That is, thank you for the presentation. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
When's dinner? No, sorry.
So I'm really looking forward to attending the ACC. I love the ACC
Thank you. I
conference.
was really, I mean, it was great. It was something that Lynn Carpenter and Jennifer White Reno were the co-chairs. They came up with, you know, hey, I said, all clubs conference. This is ACC after March Madness. So they're the ones who came up with ACC after March Madness. It's very catchy. It's very catchy. So yeah, y'all come down. It really is. It's right here in Newburgh. We just got a great agreement with hotels. $129 a room. We've got rooms. There's a KOA campground out there. There's Airbnbs. Tremendous opportunities out there for staying. You know, the conference itself is going to be $130, $145 for the whole conference, which will include breakfast, dinner, etc. So we've tried to keep it down to where people can actually participate. And it's going to be something. It's going to be a celebration of the clubs. We will be celebrating the clubs out there, and we're going to be talking about that. There's going to be booths out there, the tables for clubs to display what they've done. I'm really pumped about it, and you know, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. The first I'm looking forward to my 47 visits.
You have a few more visits.
Thank you. I do. But it's fun. This is really fun. I love doing this. And that's why I go on and on and on and on. So stop me, Eve.
We like it when you go on and on and on, Shafi.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So one thing I wanted to let you know is that we will be making a donation of a book to Book Harvest in your name. And I'll just be in touch just to thank you for being here tonight. And I'll be in touch with just which title and what kind of book you'd like to donate. So, but we'll be doing that in the next few weeks. So
Thank you very much. Thank you
I'd
very much.
actually really love to ask you to lead us in the 4-way test as well, if you could do that.
Okay. And let's all go on and talk about the 4-way test, which is the things you think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Is it show to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. That's Rotary for tonight, and we really appreciate you being with us. Thank you.